Hello and welcome back to another reaction. In this occasion, One Punch Man Season 2, Episode 12. I am still not sure if this is the last episode or if this is going to be a longer season or 26 episode, or is just going to be just like last season, the 12 episode series. I am still not sure of that. Everything is pointing towards that. Yes, this is the last episode. And yeah, so far the series hasn't been spectacular. It hasn't been in the same level as the first season. And yes, I have said this several times. A lot of the time I have said this, sorry. Because it hasn't. It has some good episodes. Yes, last one, the episode 11 was pretty good. Perhaps the first one, it was nice to see or to hear the voice of King and how they portray it. Yeah, there are some good aspects of the series, but in general, it's not that good. It hasn't been a good series. Let's be honest here. And I don't think this episode is going to be the episode that is going to save this anime. No. I highly doubt it, especially if this is the last episode of the season. There are a lot, and I seriously mean a lot of points that doesn't have a resolution. A lot of them. Seriously. But anyway, yes, I'm going to start to ramble this, and I prefer to keep this until the commentary, so let's just cut all of this and watch the episode, shall we? Okay, I'm back. I just watched a second time the 12th episode of the season. And yes, it turns out it was the last one. I don't know why I had in mind that it was going to be 13 episodes. I honestly have no idea. I still thought that we still have one left episode after this one. But obviously I was completely wrong. And yeah, this was the last episode of the second season. And obviously, I did some other stuff after watching it a second time. Yes, there is no confirmation for a third season, but obviously, JC staff want to have another season of this because this is a completely inconclusive story. It doesn't lead to anything because every single antagonist of the series, every single enemy in the series, well, the main ones I mean, are still alive, are still well. We still have a lot of threats and not a lot was resolved. Actually, nothing was resolved in this season finale. We still have the Monster Association going strong. We still have the little kid that was kidnapped. We still haven't resolved anything like that. We still have a lot of monsters. Yes, a lot of them were destroyed or were killed or whatever you want to call it, but there are a lot more monsters and a lot stronger monsters that were just introduced, but they never did anything with them. So yes, there is a lot of stuff that is still on the air that we don't have anything. And yes, this wouldn't work as a season finale for the series. And yes, I know perhaps you're tired of me saying that compare it to season 1, but actually it bears the comparison. Season 1 is very different, but it has an arc. We're still following Saitama, we're still following all his adventures, and yes, it's not the traditional arc of the hero that he has to train to become stronger, to become the strongest character in the series, because yes, Saitama is already the strongest character in the series, that is obvious, but he's following a different type of adventure. We're seeing how one characteristic that is overblown, in this case Saitama's strength, is not enough for him to be happy. It's not enough for him to have every single aspect in his life being resolved. that the recognition he seeks, because yes, we know that Saitama likes kind of the fame. He likes to be recognized as the hero that he is. Uh, but he has another moral compass that he's not going to do everything in his power just to be recognized, but he's following his moral code, and he hasn't deviate from said moral code. And in the end, yes, you have a very satisfactory fight against Boros. And yes, I am still speaking about season 1. You have a very satisfying fight against Boros, the one that has become closer to really challenge Saitama so far in the anime. But still, you see that Saitama is way, 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 way too powerful for anybody. And everything about the episode 12 of season 1 is just spectacular. The fight, the ending, the way it moves. It was just a glorious, glorious fight and glorious episode. This one, though, is not up to the standard. And yes, while I was looking for information, I read that yes, this is a good episode. Yes, it is a good episode. I'm not going to deny that. It is a decent episode. It's a good episode. It has several points in which I was really blown away by the quality of the animation. But in general, again, those moments are not enough to be compared to the season finale of, the season 1. It is a good episode. Yes, it is. Now, some things that I made a mistake, or at least I did not remember. When we were watching the flashback of Garu, I thought they were just making it up. They didn't follow the manga, but actually no, they followed the manga quite close actually. So yes, my mistake there. I did not remember a lot of stuff from the manga, at least not a lot of details. It's been such a long time since I read that chapter. But yeah, this is actually on the manga. So yes, obviously, this is kind of something that you can deduce from previous episodes. That yes, this is the mentality of Garo. That life is unfair, especially if you are popular. It's unfair for everybody if you are not popular. In this case, Garo wasn't a popular guy. And yes, everybody else ganged up against him, even though he was on the right. And that's why I kind of developed this personality, but still, I don't consider Garu as a bad person, and I don't think a lot of people do. Yes, he's a bastard sometimes because he beats the crap of every single hero that crosses his path. But when it's about children or defenseless beings, he's not attacking citizens. He's not attacking children. He's actually protecting children, as we saw in previous episodes. He's doing something else. He's not just this monster that he wants to believe he is. And this is again a theory, and this is just basing myself on what we saw on the anime. This is not something, or it has nothing to do with what we saw or what we read in the webcomic or in the manga. So yeah, this is a complete theory basing on what we saw in the anime. Okay, so yeah, there is no spoilers there. I think Garo wants to be a monster. I think Garo wants to be a monster because he always see that the monsters in every cartoon, in every anime that he watched as a kid was treated unfairly. The other protagonist, or the protagonist, in this case I think it was Justice Man, is always winning because he's popular, or that's what he saw. That even monsters, and this is something what we saw in the anime, even monsters that tried to protect the sea in this case, yes, they wanted to protect, they didn't want to attack, and they were just attacked because they were monsters. It is a different case. It's not equal like the Deep Sea King, that he was actually attacking the surface. But from what Garu said, we kind of deduce that actually the heroes of this fictional world, within this fictional world, obviously, the Justice Man cartoon or anime, was attacking this monster. That's what that's what I get from what Garu said. And yes, of course, Garo see the injustice. Yes, a lot of heroes are ganging up against this lonely monster, and who is just trying to defend his home. That's what I interpret. And I think I kind of expressed that in my reaction, that actually this is a different scenario. It's something like the Deep Sea King that is attacking the surface, and it's another thing when the monster is just actually defending his territory. It's different cases in here. Yes, this is a good portrait of the psychology of Garu, and this is something I always love about Garu. Garu is a great antagonist. I don't want to say villain because there is some aspect of him that doesn't make him a full-fledged villain. But this is something I always like about Garu, the depth of character. And if you read the manga, or if there is going to be a third season of One Punch Man, which I think there will be, obviously this is, so far there is just rumors and there is nothing solid for the anime. That is still a little bit hard to understand. That is still Garu. You start to understand what Garu is, but later on you start to feel even better about Garu. Again, I'm not saying anything too revealing, but actually Garu is a great, amazing character. It's awesome character. And yes, I was disappointed in the shortening of the series. Again, I'm not going to lie and say, oh, everything was terrible. No, we have good examples of animation in here. We have when I think it was Genos fighting against the giant centipede, or when Bang and his brother were together fighting against, again, the same centipede. I think the lowest point of the animation is the fight, because it was more of a massacre between Bang and Garu. I think that was the lowest point of the animation for this episode. Because yes, I found details that I really find, my god, looks pretty bad. They should have done that better. Within 15 seconds of the anime, when you pass from low quality drawings of Bang, of Silver Fang, and then in a very poor transition, you kind of see more detail Silver Fang. I'm gonna put the example here. It's kind of a minor detail, but I think this important to see that, because I noticed that. And yes, it's viewable with my reaction when I noticed that transition. That yes, obviously you animate a low quality or low detail portion when you have a lot of movement, because yeah, you are not going to see those details thanks to all the movement that is around that. But in the moment you start to reach the point in which you are not seeing a lot of movement, you start to improve the animation, but don't do it drastically. That just low quality, bam, high quality, just like the anime did. That is a detail that is, in my opinion, a major detail, because it's very noticeable. I noticed in the first viewing, I noticed that, and I was paying attention to a lot of stuff. In my reactions, I try to enjoy the show, so you can watch my genuine reaction. But if I notice that detail, it's because it's a major one. And I don't want it to be just a small detail that, oh yes, it's just nothing. No, that is important. That is important in my opinion, that they need to improve those details, because that is what makes a good anime and a great anime, in my opinion. Those small details. The devil is in the detail, as people said. But yeah, that is important. The fight, again, it's a good fight. Well, it's a good massacre, honestly, as I said before. It's a good fight, but again, it's not in the same standard. I think the best is when they start to fight against the centipede. Centichoro, I think, is the name of the monster. But there is something I really dislike about this episode. And perhaps this is just my personal taste. Perhaps people enjoy it really, and perhaps I'm just nitpicking something, or perhaps it's a detail I do not like for X or Y reason. But they should have give their own music to this. Yes, there are music, especially for this second season. But when they reuse music from last season, from season 1, the only thing I keep thinking is how awesome season 1 is. Especially the Boros music. When they used music that was used during the Boros fight, that is even worse, because as I said a million times before, Boros versus Saitama is one hell of a fight. It's one of the most spectacular fights I have seen in anime. In anime in general. It's that good. That fight is unbelievably amazing. It's mind-blowing. And yes, I will not get tired of praising said fight. But when they use the music, you kind of remember that, say, okay, you start to compare it, or at least I start to compare it with the fight against Boros. And speaking of that, I kind of notice that they use the same frames they use in the final punch against Centichoro. They use, I think, the same angles when Saitama destroyed the beam of energy that Boros shoot at the earth when he destroyed entirely Centichoro. I think the angles kind of, they try to give you the sensation of this spectacular ending for One Punch Man Season 2. There are several problems with that. Season 1 didn't use it in the end of the episode. Actually, it was kind of in the middle of the episode. The fight versus Boro ended, I think, above the mid mark of the episode, of the last of episode 12, season 1. They use it in the last bit of the episode, before obviously the credits and the extra scene. Like the triumphant moment, the best moment of the anime. It doesn't have the same weight. When you fight, when we saw the fight against Boros, yes, you don't feel danger because Saitama is there. It's spectacular, but you still see a lot more power there. Boros could destroy the entire planet with that cannon, with that freaking power in the end. He could destroy the entire Earth, according to himself, according to Boros. And yeah, it's believable thanks to what we saw from Boros. Centichoro, I don't think, has the power to destroy the planet. Perhaps a city, yeah, sure. That is certain. But not the entire planet. So yeah, we're speaking about different levels of power in here. And a lot of difference. And yeah, when you do that, you kind of feel that you are imitating the success of something without doing the same effort or the same level in every other aspect of One Punch Man Season 2. It feels kind of cheap. At least that's what I think. And I think they try to dissociate themselves a little bit from the season finale of Season 1. Because actually, and again, I know I sound like a scratch record. In the manga, I said it. In the manga, Saitama also said serious, serious, serious punch. In this one, he just stays quiet. I guess they try to dissociate themselves from that scene. It will be way too similar, and a lot of people will point in this. A lot of people will be pointing this. But I don't think they dissociate themselves enough for not to be noticeable. I think even the movement, I'm going to compare it later on, and yes, I'm going to put it obviously here. But I think that is an aspect I don't like. That they try to imitate their success, but without imitating everything else during the entirety of the season 2. It's not on the same level. I praise the show when they try to change a little bit or to be different from the manga so they can adapt it better, but they get too close to the manga and too close to season 1. But not in a good way. Not in the same level of animation, not in the same level of hype that they had in season 1. It is not a bad episode. And yes, I know I said a lot of negative stuff in this one. There is a lot of good things, good animation portions, good fighting scenes, good character development. Well, thanks to the manga, obviously. And yes, I know I sounded perhaps way too negative in this episode, or with this episode, but actually I enjoyed the episode. But again, I'm not going to stop myself from pointing the bad things that happened during the episode. It is a good one, yes. If they release season 3, which thanks to this tweet is not confirmed, but apparently they want a season 3. If there are going to be a season 3 of One Punch Man, will I watch it? Yes, I will. And I will be still kind of strict with it, because I am going to still compare it to season 1. Because season 1 put a standard so high that I want that standard to be reached or to be surpassed. It is pretty hard, yes. But that is not going to stop me from being this analytic. Yes, there is a lot of mistakes in this second season. There were several mistakes. There are episodes in which I genuinely hate. But this is a nice way of ending the season. 2 solid episodes. The last 2 episodes were kind of solid. With a lot of mistakes, actually, yes. But I think the good outweighed the bad in these last 2 episodes. They are perfect? No. But none of the season 2 was perfect. Anyway, yeah, I think I'm just going to start to ramble right now if I continue to speak. I think I genuinely exhausted the topic of this episode. I hope you enjoy it. And yes, there is going to be an anime that substitute this one, and I'm going to react to the second season of Mob Psycho 100. Yes, I promised this a long time ago when I was watching Mob Psycho. And I didn't have the time, and a lot of stuff happened. But yes, I'm finally going back to Mob Psycho. And yes, I'm going to be in my reaction of the Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't know which day I'm going to put them. But yes, this is the big news I have for you guys. If some of you are still here watching my commentary. But anyway, yeah, the only thing I have to say is thank you for your attention, and see you in the next one. Bye.
Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed that video, and if you did, give it a like, so the algorithm from YouTube will help me out. And check my other videos, share them, and also why not subscribe to my channel and join this community. And as always, I want to thank you for your attention, your likes, and even your dislikes, your comments, which is something I always look forward to read. And yeah, once more, thanks, and see you on the next one.